morning, Chattanooga. This is Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody. My name is Jack Fennell here with your hosts, Cindi Richardson and Jody Gatlin with the Richardson Group KW Cleveland. The Richardson Group KW Cleveland, over 20 years experience serving Southeast Tennessee, and it is the home of the Offers Instantly program. If you need to sell your home and you want a guaranteed offer within 24 hours, go online at offersinstantly.com for more details. Each Keller Williams office is independently owned and operated. If you have questions about buying, selling, or investing in real estate this morning, you can call or text the Talk Radio 102.3 studio at 267-1023. We're also taking questions this morning through our Facebook Live video on the Richardson Group Facebook page. If you have a real estate question you would like to discuss off the air, call our office 790-7979 or visit our website rg423.com. As always, we look forward to answering your questions this morning at 267-1023. And here are your hosts, Cindi Richardson and Jody Gatlin. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. And we actually have a very special show today.
Yes, we're going to talk about a lot of moving and shaking.
Yeah, and to help us out with that, we brought in an expert, Mr. Matt Carlson with Boundless Moving and Storage.
It is good to be here this morning.
Matt,
Are you
so
doing the moving or the shaking this morning, Matt?
We're doing the moving, not the shaking. We're the movers and the unshakers.
We'll
right? We don't shake the stuff. So.
At least not that we know about, right?
Exactly.
We'll let Jack do the shaking. Yes, you guys missed it if you're watching on Facebook Live. Jack's getting it on the other side there.
Yeah, I'm just handsome enough to be on the radio, but ugly enough to be kept off of the live stream.
That's by choice. We don't make him stay off.
Well, Matt, thanks so much for coming on today. We all know that moving, buying, selling are all major stressors in someone's life. And we hopefully today can kind of come out of this with helping to alleviate some of those stresses. But before we get into that, what does it take? How's the moving business going?
The moving business, just like, the realtors market, it's going well. I mean, everybody, it seems like a lot of folks are buying homes. 90% of what we do is household goods, and 10% is commercial, and we do some freight. But the bulk of our business is moving people when they're selling homes and buying homes, and the market's really good right now, so we're very, very busy.
Well, and tell us a little bit about your company, how long you've been doing this,
okay.
What you do, how that
Definitely.
works.
We are, based out of Cleveland, Tennessee. We actually move all over the country. We do long-distance local, and we started in 2015, so we're almost 7 years old now, so excited about that. So we just actually built a brand-new storage facility and have new offices up on Northley Highway in Cleveland. And but we serve about 70% of what we service is the Chattanooga region. So anything south of Knoxville, Nashville, Atlanta, about 70% of our business is this whole region. So it's a great region. I've actually been in this area for about 23 years now. Moved from the Midwest, came down here, and met a Cleveland girl, got married.
I was going to say, how in the world did you end up in Cleveland, Tennessee?
Exactly. A little school called Lee University.
Yes, sir.
That's what started it, and then I stayed. So it's a beautiful area. This whole area is gorgeous, and I love it. So I grew up in Iowa, and there's a lot of cows and pigs and cornfields, so it's, it was a little more exciting down here when I came down. The outdoors are amazing.
Now, you mentioned storage facilities. So that's something you could help somebody with, a place to put their things in the meantime?
Yeah,
You
definitely.
just opened up your facility.
We did. We opened up in October of 21. There was a huge need,
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know if any of you all listening have looked for a storage unit
And
lately.
especially climate controlled.
Exactly.
I waited personally, even knowing people in the business, probably, I think I called you and you guys had just literally started breaking ground, and I was like begging for you to hold me a spot when it got finished. That's how far out it was.
Exactly. And so there was a huge need, and so what we did, we'd been moving for about 5 years, and we had a lot of clients that needed storage. And so what we decided to do was build a facility that's contactless, 24/7, state-of-the-art. You could actually never talk to us, and you can rent a unit online or go to the facility and sign in on the kiosk and get into the facility. So we built a good facility that is open to the public but holds a lot of our clients' inventory.
Wonderful. That's huge, especially, we talked on the last couple shows about ways to get creative in winning bids and multiple offers in that situation, and not having a place to go in the interim. So having a place to keep your stuff is
Or even
big.
just getting your home ready.
Yeah.
That's usually a big recommendation, is to get a storage building and go ahead and get the items that you're not going to be using over the next few months, like your Christmas decorations, or, and now we can start packing away some of those winter clothes and things and go ahead and get them put in facilities so that it does open up your home for staging.
So tell us, somebody is getting ready, like Cindy said, to list their house. We recommend decluttering. We come in, tell them all the things that they need to do. Is there anything as far as, excuse me, decluttering or getting ready before a move that you recommend?
Oh, definitely. People need to start thinking a couple months out. If they're going to put their house on the market, we get a lot of folks that call and say, "Hey, we put our house on the market, and it went under contract."
Yeah, or this crazy
24
realtor
hours,
came and
so.
told us we need to do 9 things.
And so you definitely want to start getting organized. Organization is key for anything that you do when it comes to a move. If you're not organized and you hire a moving company and they come in and you haven't packed everything yet, that just makes it a bad day.
And we're going to touch on that a little bit more, the things and kind of a timeline, what you should do when. But tell us, what does it take to be a qualified mover? Because there's a difference.
Sure.
You
Definitely. Yes.
you can get anybody to, and I think we've all, as long as we've been doing this, we've had some doozies. So hiring the right person is important. And tell us what the difference is.
We've heard a lot of nightmare stories too. from movers.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and we heard that time and time again. So we have a lot of repeat clients. But whenever somebody's out there and they go online and they start looking for a qualified professional moving company, they want to check with the FMCSA, which regulates the whole freight transportation industry.
Say that again, slow. What is it?
FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier
FMCSA.
And they want to go online, look at that, and they can actually look up a moving company by their USDOT number and their MC number. Okay, and so that's what they want to be able to do is look for qualified companies, because you can go online and you can find anything. And you think you see a good website, you see a good moving company, you want to make sure that they're legitimate, and you want to make sure that they're covered. There's actually 4 different types of insurances that moving companies should have. Okay. And so it's the automobile insurance, general liability, cargo insurance, workman's comp is one thing, because you're having a moving company come in and work on your house. So you really don't want to just try to find the cheapest moving company, because if you do, it's probably a company that doesn't have the right types of insurance.
So give me an example of the right kind of questions to ask. You're going to hire a mover. What should I ask you as far as?
Definitely. What types of insurances, number one, do you have?
Okay.
And if you have workman's comp, if you guys come on my job site, because we're lifting, carrying, going up and down stairs, you're in somebody's house. If somebody falls and gets hurt, what's going to happen? Are they covered? And so basically, another question is, how long have you been in business? Do you have full-time employees? Those are really good questions to ask. Exactly.
Yes, especially now. Do you have somebody?
Oh, definitely. So those are 3 really big questions. What's your schedule look like? A lot of moving companies, we're usually at least 2 weeks out for big jobs. And so you really
2 weeks doesn't sound that bad.
And so what we can do after 2 weeks, we have a lot more flexibility. And what we get a lot is folks will say, "Hey, I don't know when my closing is," but that's okay to still book the move. It's better to get on the schedule, and then we can move the date if we need to, instead of just wait until the last minute and say, "Okay, I found out it's going to be in 4 days." We start calling around and I got to move in 4 days. A lot of moving companies will have nothing on their schedule for you.
Right. Awesome. So it looks like we have a caller on the line. Sharon?
Yes.
Hey there.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. What can we do for you?
I believe this is the program I called a week or so ago about getting a list of people who could do appraisals for me in Walker County.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we can get that. I tell you what, I probably would be best. We need to get some contact info from you. So we're going to let Jesse pick up the line, so you're not telling the whole radio world your contact info. And if you'll give him an email address would probably be best.
Yeah, I've got a whole list. So
yeah.
just give him your email address, and I can email it out during the next break.
Excellent. That would be fantastic. Thank you so very much.
Perfect. Thanks, Sharon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so back to time frame. So a couple weeks is a pretty safe estimate. We've talked multiple times. Typical escrow is how long?
30 to 45 days.
30 to 45 days. So really, I would say after your inspections, at that point, you need to at least be on Matt's books if that's something that you're considering.
And that's for local moves. So if you're moving long distance, you want to have a month to be able to talk to moving companies and plan, get scheduled, and go from there.
And that's important. You've moved a couple of my clients. One to California and I think, bless him, he moved from California to Cleveland, moved back to California, stayed 3-4 months and came back again. So I think you moved him back and forth 3 or 4 times, but that's also important to note too.
Do you offer moving supplies?
We do actually. So we have
Okay.
all sorts of moving supplies, and so when we can come in and do free in-home estimates.
Okay.
It doesn't cost a thing for us to come out, and those are the most accurate quotes that you can get. We do a lot of over-the-phone estimates also, or you can go online and you put a request in, on our website. But the best and most accurate quotes are always the free in-home estimates that we do, because we see the inventory, we actually hear what you really need. And when you call into a moving company, you don't just want to say, hey, this is the big stuff. Because it's actually all the small stuff. It's the 100 boxes, and it's the lamps, and it's the mirrors, and it's the artwork that really take time to move. So you really want to give a moving company a good, accurate inventory quote.
And just like any other, when you're interviewing anybody, you want to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples, what you're getting for the price. And I think the best way to do that, like you said, is in person. Have somebody come in and look to let you know.
All right, guys, we're going to step away and take a quick break. Coming up on Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody, we're going to talk more with Matt Carlson with Boundless Moving and Storage. You're listening to Talk Radio 102.3.
Where Chattanooga comes to talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Talk Radio 102.3 FM.
And paid for by MaxPace Marketing. Attention! If you've had hernia surgery and have experienced complications such as chronic pain, infection, wound reopening, mesh migration, bowel obstruction, need revision surgery, or other complications, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Hernia repair surgery is common and requires a mesh product to be implanted inside your body. In May of 2016, the manufacturer of a popular hernia mesh product issued a mandatory global recall due to product defects. If you've had hernia surgery and have experienced complications, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Call the Hernia Mesh Helpline now at 800-797-0539. Our experienced attorneys will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. You pay nothing unless we get a recovery in your favor. Time is limited to file a claim, so call the Hernia Mesh Helpline now. 800-797-0539. Operators are standing by 24/7. Call 800-797-0539. That's 800-797-0539.
RSW Chattanooga offers premium products for discerning customers. Update and elevate the look of your home with James Hardie Siding. New siding will add curb appeal, and James Hardie products stand the test of time. Don't wait until spring. Elevate your home now. Visit rswchattanooga.com today and save $1,000 on complete James Hardie siding installation. Visit rswchattanooga.com.
The Medicare store by Affordable Medicare Plans is not affiliated with Medicare or any other government agency.
Stop! Don't call a 1-800 number for your Medicare decisions. Go to the Medicare store on Highway 58. Local, experienced, no-cost service for all of your Medicare options. Online at the MedicareStoreChattanooga.com.
I'm David Carnes. Join me Sunday. It's Your Live. We have great local guests every week, Sunday, noon to 2 on Talk Radio 102.3.
Talk Radio 102.3.
Welcome back to Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody. Get your real estate questions answered on the air. Call or text 267-1023. We're also answering questions this morning through our live video on the Richardson Group Facebook page. You can reach us at our office at 790-7979 or on our website, rg423.com. Again, we're joined this morning by Matt Carlson with Boundless Moving and Storage. So, Matt, I know as we left out on the last segment, we were kind of getting into coming out to do estimates and things like that. How do you actually go in and price a move? What's kind of the first things that come up if I'm scheduling a move to get me? What are some of the first information you need to have, and then to actually come out and do the estimate?
Sure. So we find out where where they live, where the pickup location is, where they're moving to, what their dates are, because we have clients that will do 1-day moves. We have clients that we have to hold their storage, their inventory and hold it for 1 day, Tuesdays. It could be months, and if it is more than a week, then we usually go into a storage unit with their inventory. So we need to find out what they're really looking for. Do they need packing services? We offer packing services, packing their kitchen, packing their closets, their artwork, their TVs. We can come in and do all that before the move. And so we talk about that, what they really need out of movers, because we have some people that give us the keys to the house and say, do everything. Then we have other folks that say, hey, we're going to do all the small stuff. We're going to get the fragile, the lamps, the boxes. We want you to get the big back-breaking heavy stuff, the dressers and the couches and the gun safes and the baby grand pianos.
How much does it actually save on their total overall bill if they do things like wrap their lamps and everything? If you get there and all the small items have already been packed up, wrapped up.
If they've been wrapped up or if they've been moved, a lot of folks they'll move a lot of that small stuff themselves, and it actually saves a lot of money. And so you can cut the price in half when it comes to a move if you've done a lot of that small stuff yourself or moved a lot of the small stuff yourself. So we have a lot of clients that are do-it-yourself people, and so they're gonna pack and they're gonna get it ready and they're gonna move some things if the next location is available when they go. A lot of folks can't do that. They actually, they're buying and selling basically on the same day. You know, and so they have to figure out a way to get their house empty. You know, and so we do a lot of 2-day moves where we'll come in and we'll actually load the day before, and then they sell the house and close on the next house that next morning, and we're at their houses in the afternoon on day 2 to unload everything and reassemble the beds and get the boxes in the rooms.
That is the best situation you can set up as a seller.
Well, my next question, we actually had a comment. I have a text message that says, what are ways that the seller or the person who's moving could prepare in advance to help make things easier or faster for you guys?
Okay, so organization is key. Okay, and so they need to understand 6 to 8 weeks out, they need to go and actually look through their house and look at all their inventory. It happens time and time again. If we don't come out, we do everything over the phone, we miss inventory because they just forget about it. People are thinking what's in their house. And they're like, oh, it's 3 bedrooms and a living room and a dining room, and that's it. But then they don't think about the crawl space, the attic space, the shed out back, the patio furniture, what's all in the garage, you know. So they really got to go through their house and understand what they have. Do they want to keep it, or do they want to donate or give it to family before they move it? So they need to think about, okay, what's going to the new location?
Separating those things.
What's going to get donated and what's going to go to family. That happens a lot, especially as you get older and you've been in a home for 40 years. Okay?
Isn't that the truth? I just moved after 2 years, and I thought, where did all this stuff come from?
Exactly.
I think it all starts multiplying.
Literally.
Especially when you think you're about done, and it just keeps coming.
And I think it's all those years of like, I need this, I don't have it. You go buy it, but you had one, and then you do it again. You know.
And when we're talking to people about decluttering, that's exactly what we tell them to do. You want 3 boxes. That's your keep, your donate, and your sell. And then that way you can go ahead and don't move anything that you don't plan on keeping.
Exactly.
So don't pay to move it if you're going to end up tossing it out or selling it. Go ahead, and again, Facebook Marketplace is the best thing that has been invented for people getting ready to move, because you can sell anything on Facebook Marketplace.
You can, and it's a great way to be able to get organized and, like you said, get rid of that stuff. We've moved clients that they've been in a place for 10 years, and they're like, oh, actually, there's something in the attic, and we put it there when we moved in, but we never looked at it again. I'm like, well, do you really want to move it, or can you sell it and get rid of it? Because if you haven't looked at it for 10 years, you probably don't need it.
Things like taking your beds, and you may have mentioned this already, but taking your beds apart, is that helpful if a client does that?
It speeds up the process for the move. So they can do a lot of things to get ready, taking the TVs down from the mounts on the walls. So many folks have mounted TVs now. Get those down, disassemble the beds, get everything ready to go. And we can do disassembly and reassembly, but a lot of clients prefer to do that too because they're saving time and they're saving money. And we'll do whatever the client needs to make that happen.
If I'm hearing you correctly, it's a combination of time, so by the hour,
yes,
in addition to, I guess, weight or volume of the things that you're moving?
Volume is a good way to do it. We do hourly moves, and a lot of times, a lot of reasons why moving companies do the local hourly rates. I mean, long distance, we do flat rate quotes. It's a guaranteed quote when you go long distance. But when it's a local move, a day or 2 days, a lot of times the clients are saying, hey, by the time it gets to moving day, I'll have done this, 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 and this. And then we get a call 3 days in advance, or even we show up, and they're not done and they're not ready, So that's why a lot of times moving companies have an hourly rate, because they're saying, look, we've estimated it. This is what we think will happen. This is what we think we can do it in the number of hours. But if the client's not ready when we get there, it's going to make it a longer move. Okay.
What about large, heavy, awkward items? And the reason I say that, I had a gentleman who sold a condo in downtown Chattanooga that had a hot tub, not even a hot tub, one of those swim spas, that they wanted to go to the next place.
Okay.
You talk about difficult, finding somebody that was willing to do that. Pianos is another thing that we run into a lot.
Safes.
Yes.
Safes, pianos, are those things that you guys are comfortable moving?
We do a lot of special items, and that's another thing when you're looking for moving companies, and you have to ask those questions. You can't forget to say we have a gun safe or we have a baby grand piano, and we do a lot of specialty items, pianos, gun safes. We do hot tubs, not as often, but we do a lot of things. And so a lot of the specialty items, it's key and it's important to make sure the moving company has the skill set and the equipment to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And high-end items, I think we run into that. If you've got paintings or family heirlooms or really fragile antiques. Let's talk for just a minute about insurance. You mentioned that. So does the price that you give me cover me from an insurance standpoint? Is there additional insurance I need to purchase? How does that work?
Clients usually have 4 different options when they're going to move, and about 30% of our clients actually have homeowners insurance that covers their inventory during a move.
Let me stop you really quick. That's an important. That reminds me. Do not cancel your homeowner's insurance until
After
everything has been signed. It has funded. It's over, and you have your proceeds in your hand.
You do need to call and cancel it, because even though your mortgage has been paid off in full, they're not going to do it automatically. If you're expecting a refund because you've already paid for the full year, you do need to call and cancel it, but very, very important not to cancel it until after your move.
Okay, so we've got homeowners insurance.
And so that's what we tell clients all the time, check with your agent and see if you have coverage. You can also get more coverage from your homeowner's agent also if the plan doesn't have it. So there's that option. And then every moving company is federally required to have coverage in their contracts. It's 60 cents a pound coverage. It's minimal coverage, and a lot of times, so it comes with every contract. Every moving company has to provide this, local, long distance, but it's 60 cents a pound. So if you have a couch that's 100 pounds, or let's use a TV. You have a $2,000 TV that's 20 pounds, okay? And you didn't get any other coverage, and you have that 60 cents a pound coverage, which it's federally mandated. It's free. It's in every contract. Every moving company has it. But if you have a $2,000 TV that's 20 pounds, if it breaks during the moving company technically owes you $12 for that TV, okay?
I know the answer to this from personal experience, but let's say it's just like anything else that we do. People are human, and things happen.
Oh, yeah.
You poke a hole in my wall. What happens?
Okay.
How does that work?
That should get fixed, and that coverage is also in the contract. And so if a professional moving company is going to do their best to take care of their clients.
Absolutely.
And that's why we have repeat clients.
I can vouch for Matt. He did come and fix a hole in my wall.
Do you offer additional insurance coverage? So if that $12 TV, can I get additional insurance with you to make sure that my electronics or things that are not going to be adequate?
You can get actually additional coverage from us.
Okay. So I don't necessarily have to get it from my insurance carrier.
No. So you can actually get it from the move.
Okay.
Now there's some moving companies that don't offer that, and they would just say 60 cents is what we have. That's what that's the offer.
Okay.
But that's why you research moving companies, and find out. That's one of the questions you ask them. What types of coverages do you have for my inventory when we're moving from one home to another home?
Okay.
And we have 2 other options that are full value coverage options that you can choose that can cover all your inventory during the move.
And that's one of those things you don't think
know until
that you
you know.
need until you've experienced it. So,
moving is hard. Moving is stressful, and moving is hard on you. Moving is hard on the moving company that does it. Our guys work hard. They hustle, but they're moving a lot of stuff every day,
and they're trying to move fast because
Exactly.
they're charging per hour.
Yep.
So they're trying to go as fast as possible and be as careful as possible.
Exactly. And so that's why being more organized and doing a lot of things beforehand to make that move go smoother is great. When our guys walk into a home where somebody's OCD and they've gotten everything labeled, everything ready to go, and they're like, here's the checklist, this is what we need to do today, the guys love it because the client is organized.
Okay, talking about that, everything labeled. So if I have everything labeled and I've got that this one is Jordan's bedroom and this one is Cindy's bedroom, if I give you a diagram of the new house we're going to and where Cindy's bedroom is and where Jordan's bedroom is that useful so that you know where to drop the boxes when you get there, or do you drop them all in the garage or wherever you can?
We can drop them in the garage if that's what the client prefers. But if the client wants them to be in bedrooms and kitchens, if they are labeled correctly, if the boxes are labeled garage, they go in the garage. If they're labeled kitchen, they go in the kitchen. If they're labeled Jordan's room, they'll go in Jordan's room. And so what you do is when you first get to the job, You walk through with the crew to see the whole house for the load, and then they make a plan, they protect the floors, and they get to work. And then at the end of the load, you walk through the house again to make sure they've gotten everything, because what you don't want to have happen is an hour later you get a phone call and saying, hey, they left a TV upstairs in the, or nobody ever got in the attic. So do those walkthroughs at the load. And then when you get to the unload, the first thing you'll do with the crew is walk through the house. Now, best practice is have a little piece of paper by every room that says Jordan's room. This is the kitchen. This is the master bedroom.
That's what I was thinking, or this is where baby grand piano goes,
exactly.
or this is where the big heavy couch goes.
So you only do one walkthrough instead of actually having, when they come off the truck, if it's labeled correctly, they don't have to ask you every 5 minutes, where does this go?
Yeah.
Okay?
I assure you, I'm OCD. You're going to get a map showing exactly where it needs to go. Now, Jody here is going to point
put it
if
in the
you're
garage.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And I think it's important to understand that is 100% our personalities. Yeah. I think it's important to understand, too, that you can't have the best of both worlds. So you can't want them to do it quickly because it's hourly and then expect them to carry everything and put it exactly where it goes.
And it takes time.
Exactly.
Yep.
If that's something that you want, I know your company has moved me personally 3-4 times since you've been in business. And for us, it was just get everything ready that we could, leave it, you bring it all to the new place and just put it in one spot. And we can separate it because that was easier to, but I think a lot of it, like Cindi said, is personality driven, how you want things. I want to put it where I want it and make it the way I want to. I want to, clean before I do and all that good stuff. But you can't be a stickler because you're only going to pay for 2 hours and then expect them to pack you and unpack you and do everything that needs to happen.
We have this $3.99 special for seniors. It's 2 men with the truck for up to 3 hours for doing as much as we can for up to 3 hours.
Slow down on
qualifies
that.
as a
Slow
senior?
down.
Okay.
Yeah, slow down right there again.
Okay.
What did you
Qualifies
say?
as a senior?
Does Brian?
There's 3. Well, we won't go there. Now, we're not going to talk about ages today. So, but that $3.99 special for seniors is a good one. But a lot of folks will see that and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I can do the move." $3.99. We get people that call and say, "This whole move will take 2 hours." And it's a 4-bed, 3-bath house with a garage and a shed, and we're like, no,
that they've lived in for 20 years.
Exactly, and
that
so
you need to pack up and put everything where it goes in every room. In
so
house.
Clients have to be realistic, and if they want an inexpensive, they don't want a cheap move, because a lot of times when they want the cheapest move, then they're going to get a bad move. Okay,
right.
And when they want an affordable move, there's a lot of things that they can do to make that move go faster. Being organized, like you said, disassembling, boxing everything up, or moving some stuff to their house too, to the new house.
If possible, people. Not everybody's going to let you move stuff there.
Yes.
Okay, so the senior special, you said is $3.99 for 2 hours?
It's 3 hours.
3
so
hours.
it's 2 men with a truck with the supplies. There should be about 70 moving blankets per truck. There's dollies, there's stretch wrap, there's tape that comes with every job, so we can protect furniture. Okay.
I'll stop you too. That's important to note. What he just said: shrink wrap, tape, bubble wrap, blankets to keep your things. That comes with every move with you guys. Correct?
So yeah, we want to be able to protect the furniture, so we have to go in, and the first thing they're going to start doing is wrapping everything, disassembling and wrapping. So actually, nothing goes to the truck right away because we want to protect everything, and we have some clients that say, hey, just put it on the truck, don't cover anything, go, and that's not the type of job that we want, okay, because something's going to get damaged, something's going to get broken, and that's what you don't want to have happen.
All right, guys, we're going to step away and take a quick break. When we come back on Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody, we're going to talk more with Matt Carlson from Balanced Moving and Storage, and he's actually going to cover the top 5 things you can do to get ready for your move. This is Talk Radio 102.3.
The home of Big Orange basketball. Talk Radio 102.3 WGOW FM.
Okay, folks, you've heard me talk about how we love entertaining and relaxing on the decks and pool at our house, but there's maintenance that has to be done. We spend lots of time and money cleaning and pressure washing the wood and concrete, then sealing all of it, only to have to do the whole process over again in just a few years. There's got to be a better solution. That's what my friend Steve Nelson and his team over at Everseal thought too. Everseal provides a permanent solution for sealing your exterior wood and concrete at a price that you can actually afford, preventing further deterioration for the next 30 to 50 years. It works on on brand new construction just as well as old. And you get a 25-year manufacturer-backed guarantee that's transferable, even if you sell the house. Add value to your home and eliminate maintenance with Everseal. On-site estimates are always free, so call Everseal today to schedule yours at 844-EVER-USA. That's 844-EVER-USA or 844-383-7872. Or find their website at ever-seal.com or 844-383-7872 for Everseal.
In retirement, it's all about income. To learn how to create sustainable retirement income in your portfolio, join Nathan Cox and Lindsay Cotter for Retirement Income Solutions, Sunday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 102.3 FM.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Get Upside Gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code TIME for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code TIME for up to 50 cents a gallon cash back on your first tank. That's code TIME.
The market roller coaster is back. Find out what it means for your retirement on Retirement Straight Talk with Morgan Hill, Sunday at 10, right here on the Talk Monster.
When it comes to all your plumbing needs, I trust Southeast Total Service to get your household back to normal fast. Their revolutionary blue light technology will fix problems from inside the pipes instead of digging up your yard or driveway, saving you a ton of money on repairs. So for all your residential and commercial plumbing needs, I'm talking drains, sewer, clogs, water heaters, and toilets, call 499-2911 or Google Southeast Total Service, everything plumbing.
Talk Radio 102.3.
Hey, welcome back to Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody. Get your real estate questions answered on the air. Call or text 267-1023. We're also answering questions through the live video on the Richardson Group Facebook page. You can reach us at our office at 790-7979 or on our website, rg423.com. We are joined today by Matt Carlson with Boundless Moving and Storage. So, Matt, you've given us a lot of good information, and, we talked about how stressful moves can be, and we were just talking during the break about some of the more stressful things that we've personally encountered on a regular basis when we move. But what are some of the ways that people can take the stress out of moving?
Start at least a month in advance. Get organized. Start packing, or hire the movers to do the packing for you. That helps too. You really want to be able to when you get to the move, you want to be able to have, especially if it's an overnight move. You're loading a truck, and we were just talking about one time a cat got loaded into a truck because it was inside a couch, and it stayed there overnight, and everything was fine. The cat came out the next day. But make sure that you have. If you have medications, if you need to, make sure you have an overnight bag. So, when everything gets loaded, you have what you need until you can get into the new home. There's a lot of, we've had that happen before when somebody packs their own stuff and they pack their medications away, and they need their medications then, not, 2 days from now or 3 days when they actually get unloaded.
I always tell people to treat it like you're going on a trip. So
Exactly.
Your identification, your insurance card, your medication, toiletries, items that you're going to need. Go ahead and just carry that in a separate bag like you would carry it in a carry-on on a flight, just so you have that. Things do happen, and unfortunately things do happen at the very last minute sometimes, so you need to be prepared if you needed to make do.
So talking about the timeline, so a couple of months before that you move, if you know where you're moving to, it's probably a good idea to get measurements so that you know what furniture is going to fit and what furniture is not going to fit, and you can get rid of what you don't need.
Exactly, and so it's good to be able to figure out what you're taking with you, what you're going to donate, and what you're actually going to give to family. We have a lot of folks, especially older folks, that downsize, and so they're going from a 3 or 4,000 square foot, home that they've been in for a long time to something that's maybe 1,500 square foot. And a lot of folks do that, not just older folks, but folks have been in their homes for a long time. They get a lot of stuff. Their attic is full, their garage is full, their shed is full, and they're moving to a new location, so they need to understand what they're actually going to take with them. They don't want to be able to get to the new location and they have no place for all their stuff.
Right. And one of the tricks I sit and tell people too, if you're downsizing, pack up all your children's stuff that they will not take to their house and just go ahead and ship it to them. They have no choice but to accept it if you ship it to them. All their trophies from high school, all of their awards, just throw it in a box and ship it to them. And then we have,
Jordan, get ready, it's coming.
we laugh, yeah, we laugh and say reverse staging. So take all those things in your house that you don't need anymore, that you need to get rid of, and every time you visit someone for dinner, just put it wherever it makes sense in their house. So if you end up with an odd coffee cup in your pantry, I have probably put it there. So my husband collects coffee cups, so every time I go to someone's house, I'm just putting a coffee cup in the pantry. It's reverse staging.
That works great,
Whatever works.
Exactly. Right? So ship it to your kids, or get a storage unit. I know you guys have talked about that. Get a storage unit where you can take some of your stuff, you can declutter your house, and so you can go ahead and...
That's what I said. I was going to put all my son's stuff in a storage unit and hand him the key.
Yeah, there you go.
Make yourself at home.
And then hand him the monthly bill. Say, here you go. This is what it's going to cost.
It's climate control.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Exactly.
So
I don't know. He might move in.
Also a good time to start thinking about supplies.
Yes.
What you
definitely.
need. And especially with shortages in every industry right now, I think, boxes and tape.
Well, and we were talking about during the break, too, you offer tape and boxes. So if you're coming out to my house to give me an estimate, which is going to be a more accurate estimate by visiting the house,
yes,
I can get you to go ahead and bring boxes and tape then.
And you can purchase those supplies, and we can bring them out. And I mean, small, medium, large boxes. There's dish pack boxes, TV boxes,
wardrobe boxes,
wardrobe boxes for clothes, and a lot of folks love using those. You have mirror and art, boxes that protect your paintings and your mirrors, and also we have all sorts that can really we could bring out. But especially when you go to do the estimate, we'd also tell you what we think you need, and we can do an estimate for the supplies that you need also, because a lot of folks haven't moved in a long time, so they're like, I have no clue what I need.
And I may be over speaking here, but if I remember correctly, you guys offered some donation services as well too. If I label my things, then there's a stack of things, but I'm not able to move myself.
There's a lot of folks that can't move they can't move, and if they want to donate it to the Habitat Restore, the Goodwill, or whatever, we can help with that process and make sure that it gets to where it needs to go.
Perfect. That's huge. Another thing to keep in mind too, depending on where you live in the city, they do have scheduled pickup times where you can, and I don't know about every neighborhood, but I know historically, you put something decent on the side of the road, it's gone in 2 seconds, typically. But there are scheduled, so contact your local public works department, and they can tell you the day and
that's
time
only
to
within
pick up.
city limits of the different areas.
So just call and see if that's something that's available in your area. But if so, that's a great option to be able to get rid of things that because that can be overwhelming too. The stuff you don't want to take, what do you do with it?
Exactly.
Especially if it's somebody in a position that's not able.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that too, though, if you are more likely to get rid of it before you move, the less likely you are to want to try and keep it when you get to where you're going.
Absolutely.
I would much rather get rid of it ahead of time than have to find. Now I can find. I can make a place. I got a new house. I can get it put somewhere.
What are some items that you will not move that we need to work on getting rid of? Because I know like everybody's going to have extra paint in their garage that you probably need to get rid of. I'm assuming we can't throw that on a moving truck.
Exactly. So anything that's toxic, toxins, things like open cans of paint, things like that, we can't take that. We can't take anything that's combustible. So think about your propane tank on your barbecue grill. That's something that we're not supposed to take. I mean, you don't want your inventory blown up going down the road. You know. And
so you can take the grill.
We can take the grill.
Just
yes.
get the tank off.
Get the tank off the grill. Yes.
Okay.
And usually, I mean, clients are fine with that. They can put in the back.
What
of their
about
car.
yard chemicals? So my weed killer and stuff like that. My yard stuff. Do I just need to get rid of all that?
Need to get rid of that, or donate it to the buyer when they're buying the house. Really, what you don't want to have, we really frown on a lot of liquids, because when when you pack it, you put it on top of a dresser in the moving truck, and if something were to leak, you can damage the dresser, especially when it comes to something like that.
Okay, because that makes sense. So you're going to put the heavier, bigger items chemicals on the bottom.
On the bottom,
and
and then we're stacking on top of that.
Yeah.
And so, and that's, that's how most moving companies do that. So they can go ahead and, you don't want boxes on the bottom because you don't want to crush things.
Right.
You know?
Right. That makes sense.
So that's something that we do. So they try to go either, midway or up in a moving truck. And so that we're not supposed to take guns.
Okay.
Okay. We're not, and we can take plants across the city, but we can't take plants across state lines. That's actually a federal rule.
Right.
So think about your plants. Think about your guns. Think about what are you going to do with the paint? Is it going to stay with the house? Things like that. So
those are important conversations to have. Talk to your realtor.
Yeah.
Because
and like paint
you
too
can't
is
just
a hard
leave
one to get rid of.
You
Right.
can't just leave things at a home. I
Yes.
have had sellers before say, "Oh, we left them all the yard stuff." They don't want your yard stuff necessarily. But that is a conversation that you can have during an inspection period, and we can work out things that
like
can't
paint,
go.
typically you can leave the top off of it and let it dry, and then you can put it in. You can get rid of it, but to get rid of a can of paint is very difficult.
Yeah. So make sure that that's a conversation you have, so it's not the day of closing and Matt's trying to call somebody that can come and get your stuff. That
or you got
can't
20
stay.
minutes till closing, and you've got a bunch of chemicals and paint and liquids out in your garage that you're trying to put in your trunk because you can't.
And
put it on the moving
sometimes
truck.
you're trying to be helpful, and I understand that, but people don't want your 4-year-old dried up paint either. It's a burden to them, just like it's a burden to you.
or
so.
just have the agent ask your buyers
Ahead of
what they
time.
do want. Some might want the can because it has numbers on it so that they can purchase touch-up paint, but not everybody's going to want it.
And so a lot of folks have, they have stuff they need to throw away. And, if it's a significant amount of stuff, there's some really good dumpster roll-off companies that will actually bring a dumpster, put it in your yard, you can fill it up, and then they can take it. And that's a wonderful service that's provided to a lot of our clients.
Absolutely. And again, something that we can help you, just like you need to interview a realtor in person, have us come and look at your house and help you get things in order. Another reason you need to interview moving companies in person. They can see if they foresee that there's going to be a challenge, whether that's a baby grand piano or a bunch of combustible stuff.
Yes.
And I've sold houses where there's a working automotive garage in the detached garage that's not going to transfer to the buyer. So then we've got a whole other set of things that we need to talk through. So
All right, guys. We're going to step away and take our last break. When we come back on Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody, we're going to be talking more with Matt Calls from Boundless Moving and Storage. This is Talk Radio 102.3.
WGOW. Take us with you on your drive in.
I always turn them on first thing in the morning when I'm making my commute to work.
Talk Radio 102.3 WGOW FM.
Uncover retirement concepts you need to know.
We say all the time, every day's a Saturday when you retire.
Tune in to Plan Today, Own Tomorrow with Gary Thurman and Tide McIntosh. Wednesday evenings at 7 following Sport Talk, right here on the Talk Monster.
Chattanooga's original and longest-running music festival returns this summer. Riverbend 2022 comes back to Ross's Landing, June 3rd through the 5th. 3 days, 3 stages, and nearly 24 acts, including headliners Brothers Osborne, Cage the Elephant, and Jason Isbell and the 400 unit. Wristband sales are limited to just 15,000, so get yours before they're gone. Go online to WGOW.com for the full lineup. Then click on Sweet Deals to get your Riverbend 2022 wristband. Summer sounds better in downtown Chattanooga when you're at Riverbend. You've waited a long time for this, so be there with your friends. Plus, enjoy great local food, the spectacular artist market, fireworks, and much more. Chattanooga's original music festival returns to Ross's Landing. Don't miss out on Riverbend 2022, June 3rd through the 5th, featuring Brothers Osborne, Cage the Elephant, Jason Isbell and the 400 unit, along with Government Mule, Grace Potter, Nico Moon, country legend Tanya Tucker, and many more. Get your wristband from the Sweet Deals page online at WGOW.com.
Have you ever noticed TDOT or Public Works employees pressure washing and resealing concrete bridges or roads? No? Me neither! That's because they apply a true penetrating permanent sealer to concrete roads and bridges when they're built, extending the life of the concrete and reducing maintenance. This technology has been around for ages, but not applicable or affordable for homeowners like me and you. Until now, my friend Steve Nelson and his team over at Everseal provide a permanent solution for sealing your concrete and exterior wood at a price that you and I could actually afford, preventing further deterioration for the next 30 to 50 years. Can you believe it? It works on a brand new construction just as well as old. And you get a 25-year manufacturer-backed guarantee that's transferable if you sell your home. Add value to your home and eliminate maintenance with Everseal. On-site estimates are always free, so call Everseal today to schedule yours at 844-EVER-USA or 844-383-7872 or on the web at ever-seal.com. Everseal. Check it out. You'll be glad you did.
I'm David Carnes. Join me Sunday. It's Your Live. We have great local guests every week, Sunday, noon to 2 on Talk Radio 102.3.
I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Get Upside Gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code TIME for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code TIME for up to 50 cents a gallon cash back on your first tank. That's code TIME.
In retirement, it's all about income. To learn how to create sustainable retirement income in your portfolio, join Nathan Cox and Lindsay Cotter for Retirement Income Solutions, Sunday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 102.3 FM.
The Medicare store by Affordable Medicare Plans is not affiliated with Medicare or any other government agency.
Did you know that you can continue to work and have Medicare instead of your group coverage many times at a lesser cost with even greater benefits? Call the Medicare store on Highway 58 and schedule a time to compare your costs today. 355-5700.
Talk Radio 102.3 FM, the Talk Monster.
Welcome back to Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody on Talk Radio 102.3. If you missed part of this morning's show, watch the replay on the Richardson Group Facebook page or our YouTube channel. If you have a real estate question you need to get answered while we are not on the air, call our office at 790-7979. We've been joined this morning by Matt Carlson with Boundless Moving and Storage. Matt, thanks so much for having been with us today.
Oh, it's so good to be here. Enjoy being with you guys.
We really appreciate it. And I know we were talking during the break, just kind of ins and outs of things. You had something that kind of popped up, and you mentioned the senior special, but you guys kind of specialize in that senior move.
We do. We do a lot of senior moves for a lot of facilities and a lot of clients. We actually will go cross country and get people. We've had folks call us. We've had facilities call us and say, we have a couple coming to this facility, and they live in Minnesota. Can you go get them? You know? And so we want to be able to do that. So we do quite a bit of that with senior moves.
Oh, man, that is great. But you guys also do around locally. You guys do like big item pickup from like department stores, things like that, like fireproof safes.
We do. So safes, pianos. We have a lot of clients that call and say, hey, we bought this 800-pound gun safe, and we need to get it to our house. And, you know, can you go to Cabela's or Bass Pro or someplace and pick it up and bring it to us, and we can do that.
And they'll sell it to you, but they won't move it.
Yeah, I did that for a long time. I sold a lot of them, but I'm not delivering it.
Yeah.
I had a hard enough time loading it in the back of the truck.
Yep.
What is considered a long distance move?
For us, it's anything that really, if it's going to be in the truck overnight, it's going over 100 miles. It's going to be long distance. And and we like to do guaranteed quotes, you know, and so we like to go in and give them a quote that's not going to change. You know, you hear some of the horror stories about, hey, the moving company, you gave us a quote, and we agreed to it. And then when they got here, they upped the price. And then when we got to the onload 3 states away, they upped the price again and wouldn't take it off the truck, you know. And so we've heard those stories. We've had clients call us and say, we should have used you because our stuff never arrived, you know. And so that's why you need to do your homework and check on moving companies. Just don't go online and get the cheapest price and from a company that you've never heard of. Check reviews, you know, and see if, you know, they're legal. Make sure they have coverage. They can send you all that information. So they just make them prove that, you know, and make sure it's a good professional company.
You did mention the things we joked about the cat. I did have clients who were very late to a closing because they could not find their cat, their child's pet, and we jokingly talked, but it literally was on the moving truck. Had gotten in the couch when they moved it, put it on the truck. But the thing I want to talk about there is it is an option for you to hold somebody's belongings overnight on the
Yes.
truck and then take them. So that can help alleviate some stress from you when it comes time to close. If your closings are going to be back to back, or if you're going to close at 8 o'clock in the morning, that could be a very difficult trying to do all that in one day. So you don't have to unload into a storage unit.
Mhm.
You can take it, keep it, bring it to the new
Is there
place.
additional fee to hold it overnight?
It's just the cost of the truck. So
Okay.
it's usually $100. So that's not
That-
much to
yeah,
have that
to-
convenience
for-
and have
exactly.
you know.
Absolutely.
That to me would
Yeah.
be the best way to move, to load the day before closing, close the first thing the next morning,
Yep.
and be able to just move on out.
And you unload that afternoon, get in your house, and your bed's set up, ready to go. And for a lot of folks, that's what they need.
And I've had
Right.
several people take advantage of that. They're able to have their home cleaned,
Mhm.
Right,
be
and I was
out,
gonna say that
spend the
too,
night in a
that-
hotel,
yeah.
do what they need to do.
If
Looks
you-
like we do have a caller, and we've just got just a few minutes. So, Melody? Hey there.
I was wanting the information on the name of the company and the contact.
Absolutely. So we have Matt Carlson with Boundless Moving.
And we were just getting ready to ask Matt that. Matt, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
Well, they can call our offices at 423-763-1000. They can actually go online and request a quote, www.boundlessmoving.com, and they can put their information in, and we will give them a call. We can do everything over the phone for quotes. We can also come do a free in-home estimate and talk about options for their move.
Did you get that, Melody?
Thank you so much.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
So, other than having a cat that spent the night on the truck, what is some unusual things that have happened?
Okay, so a couple things I can think of right off the bat is one time we were packing a house and we found a Dear John letter in a dresser, okay?
Surprise!
Yeah, and we didn't share it. We just put it right back in the dresser,
Yeah, yeah.
and said, that's not our business.
That might be one
so.
of those things you want to move yourself.
Exactly,
You might
yes,
wanna,
exactly.
You might want to take
So,
your private stuff
and
with
so
you.
that was interesting. Another cool thing, we've been all over the country, and one of the cool things that I got to do one time is we actually did a load to Defusky Island where you actually had the trucks got loaded. It was actually here in Tennessee, and they were moving to the island, but the only way you could get there is by ferry. And so we had to put the trucks on the ferry at 6 in the morning, and we actually had to have the trucks back at the ferry at 2 in the afternoon, so we had to unload those trucks, get everything put up, and then get the trucks back on the ferry, or we would have been there for 2 days stuck.
Running.
Exactly.
Yes, I can imagine.
So that was actually very interesting, and it was a cool, job there. So
Where is that at?
That was, I think it's Defusky Island is the name of the island.
Carolina.
South Carolina.
Okay.
And but the only way you can get there is by ferry.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that is cool, except when you drive the truck on the ferry, and the ferry sinks about 3 feet.
Yeah. It is interesting.
Yeah, that would not be good. Matt, thanks so much for coming on today with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Love being here. Love talking to you guys.
All right, so guys, come back, get with us next weekend. We're actually going to have a great show. We're going to be talking about spring and getting your house ready for some spring entertaining.
Oh, and I think we have the pool and outdoor experts next week.
They will be on here next week. Thanks so much for listening. This is Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody. We hope you guys have a great week.
'Cause we've done this before, so you come on